Hey, this is Sully for Antisocial News, and this is the Body Count Report for Monday, November the 13th, 2017. And first, I'm going to take you to a life or death situation out of Israel, though this guy might not make it look like a life or death situation since he's calmly just on his cell phone in full uniform with his gun to his side here. But Israel is getting ready for potential rocket attacks after Islamic Jihad threats. Islamic Jihad is a terrorist organization loosely affiliated with the Palestinian Liberation Organization, and there's been a lot going on. IDF has been taking out terror tunnels. Here's Hamas looking at the terror tunnels. They're trying to find survivors in those. Building underground barrier along Gaza border. So, and then we have readiness upped over Islamic Jihad threats. Look at these guys looking sharp. Looking good. Looking good, guys. But I do have to say, I don't like the drab green. I think you guys should... look, even Hamas has some digicam patterns. Looks like a Marine summer weight. Looks like they ripped off Marine summer weight for the U.S. That's what... Come on. Come on, guys. I love you, Israel, but get in the modern age there with some digicam. Okay. And we are going to jump to another Ynet News reporting for another reason why Israel is on edge, and that is the political crisis in Lebanon and between Lebanon and the Shia militia Hezbollah. So check this situation out. It's a convoluted political situation, and the backdrop is involves some scary characters like Hezbollah Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah. Oh, okay. Basically, there's a lot of accusations going around that people are puppets of other countries, and which is putting the Middle East on a war posture. Potentially Shia versus Sunni, and Israel will be caught in the middle of that. So that's another reason why they are on high alert. Once again, except for this guy on his cell phone. Love you, buddy, but no. Somebody's taking a picture. Thank you, Ynet News, for the wonderful reporting and the great pictures. Let's end on this. Let's lend Israel coverage on these guys. These guys aren't on their cell phones. Okay, moving on. We got a couple nature stories. This is the first nature story here. Red tide. This is in Visayas. That's the center region in the Philippines. From the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, there's still an outbreak of red tide, which could be poisonous to humans. This planet is mostly covered in water, and sometimes that water tries to kill us. Yeah, it's just the world we live on. These guys were rescued from Abu Sayyaf, from Scuzzballs, called Abu Sayyaf, and they, I think I clicked on it, and it literally made the picture smaller. Okay. So these guys rescued. This photo released by the Philippine military shows rescued Vietnamese sailors Bai Nguyen Vien, Bui Trung Duc, and Nguyen Ten Can Hui, while waiting for their turnover to Vietnam consulate officials who went to Zamboanga on Sunday. So that's nice. It's a good story. These guys were rescued. Unfortunately, one of their guys passed away. Another kidnapped Vietnamese sailor, Nguyen Hong Trong, allegedly died in captivity from a lingering illness. But they were rescued. Hopefully, a good bunch of Abu Sayyaf were killed along the way because they are scum. Get 'em, AFP. All right, keep fighting the good fight. Keep saving people from ASG. We're a bunch of scumbags, and just a good, victorious story there. Love it. Unfortunately, we have to move on. We have more stuff going on in the world. It's not all victories. Sometimes it's really dark, convoluted situations, like makeshift bombs, IEDs, improvised explosive devices detonated in Cameroon, city of Bamenda. So this complicates the whole crisis because you had the Anglophonic people not getting their rights from the Francophonic people. So people who speak English getting discriminated against by people who speak French. And they were protesting, saying we want equal treatment. And now they apparently are on the side of terrorists, which just causes huge conflict because they are likely still being horribly discriminated against for their linguistic, how they were raised linguistically in their region. And yet they are now going to be likely targeted or seen as terrorists. This is a very convoluted, complicated situation, and I will definitely be following it, seeing what comes out of those reports on the bombings. Now we got to move on to the other. Actually, this is the bombing story here. Sorry, I thought I saw Al Jazeera. I thought I was already to the last story here. I forgot about this. Air raids kill 43 civilians in Syria's Aleppo. This is one of those situations that just never seems to end because they chase ISIS out and then the fighting doesn't stop. It just keeps going. So, scary situation. There's some video. This is Al Jazeera reporting. So check this out. A look at Russia's involvement in Syria's civil war. So check that out. It's a jarring conflict. I really would like to see an end to this. And here is a crazy situation just to complicate things. Remember how I mentioned this planet's covered in water that sometimes tries to kill us? Well, the ground will just sometimes try to kill us too. So there's that. Giant earthquake. Al Jazeera reporting. Iran-Iraq quake. A sudden wave of death. I've got thousands of people are injured and 200 people dead pretty immediately after the earthquake here. The death toll could, of course, rise. Absolutely shocking situation. Times of India reporting. They got some video, so they're reporting 1,700 injured. These numbers are likely to rise. This is the first day, so unfortunately, we're going to need to keep following this and see what's coming of it. Times of India, once again, as always, does a great job of showing some good links and some history. So check that out to look for the history of problems such as that in the region. Apparently on this fault line there was another big one back in 1990. So excellent reporting, Times of India. Props to you. Should I talk about the the Association of Southeast Asian Nations? You know what? No, I do a pretty good job of covering life or death news. Don't need to talk about that. It's not a life or death situation. They're fighting. They're just stating they're going to keep fighting the good fight there. So let's hope people do, because terrorism, natural disasters, and protests. We have all sorts of things to be concerned about. We don't need to talk about celebrities meeting each other in the political world there. Our hearts go out to people of Iraq and Iran. This very convoluted situation with all the Shia-Sunni crisis, and this situation puts things in perspective. Thought that the earth can just open up and kill us at any point. It's that's a thought to leave us on here. And this is me coming to you from Washington, D.C., a city that had a big earthquake. Oh, not a big earthquake, but an earthquake not too long ago. So always a scary thing. We had a little baby earthquake. We didn't have a big one. All right. please click the links on the screen. Consider becoming a Patreon supporter, one of our patrons, and get into our Discord. You'll get fancy rolls. You'll have some fun stuff. And if you ask me for a t-shirt, I'll send you a t-shirt. All right. This is Sully for Antisocial News. Stay safe, everybody.